Once upon a time in a kingdom far away, there lived a young girl with bright blue eyes and long blonde hair. Her name was Alice. One day, while sitting under a tree with her sister, Alice felt a little bored. She loved to explore and was always curious about everything around her. Suddenly, she noticed a white rabbit with an unusual pink nose and a coat of softest blue. The rabbit had big, bulging eyes and was holding a pocket watch. He looked very worried and kept saying, "Oh dear, I am late, I am late." Alice had never seen such a peculiar rabbit before, and it made her curious. As Alice watched, the rabbit suddenly pulled out a handkerchief and wiped his forehead with it. "How very odd," she thought. "Rabbits don't carry handkerchiefs." Then the rabbit took a quick look around, saw Alice, and hopped over to her. "Please excuse me," he said, "but have you seen the time? I am late, I am late." Alice checked her own watch. "It's 12:30, she replied. The rabbit gasped. "Oh, my, I must be off then," he said, rushing away. I'm late. Oh, dear, I'm late." Alice couldn't help but giggle at the sight of the frantic rabbit. Something about his manner and appearance intrigued her, so without a moment's hesitation, she decided to follow him. She ran across the field after the rabbit, who kept glancing over his shoulder as if afraid someone was chasing him. Soon they came to a deep rabbit hole covered with a large green leaf. Just as Alice reached it, the rabbit jumped into the hole and disappeared from sight. Before Alice could think twice, she jumped into the hole after him. When she landed, she found herself in a dark and narrow passage. "Oh, my," she said, "this is rather awkward." She started to make her way through the hole, pushing aside the stiff walls on both sides. As she went deeper, the passage became wider and the air grew stale. Suddenly, the floor beneath her feet gave way and Alice tumbled down into a deep pit. For what seemed like a very long time, Alice fell. She wondered if she would ever reach the bottom. At last, she felt something soft land on and she stopped falling. With a gentle thud, she opened her eyes and found herself in a curious place. All around her were strange, colorful plants and flowers that she had never seen before. Some of them were in full bloom, while others had withered and curled up. But what made this place even more peculiar was that the plants and flowers could talk. "Well, this is certainly odd," Alice remarked to herself. As she stood up, she noticed a nearby bottle with a label that read, "Drink me." Feeling thirsty and a bit adventurous, she took a sip. To her surprise, the liquid tasted like sweet lemonade, and as she drank, she began to shrink. She became so small that she could fit through a little door. On the other side of the door, Alice discovered a beautiful garden filled with all sorts of wonderful things. As she walked through the garden, she met the most curious creatures, each more peculiar than the last. There was a grinning cat with no body named the Cheshire Cat, a Mad Hatter who was always late for tea parties, and a Queen of Hearts who shouted, "Off with their heads," at the slightest inconvenience. Alice spent many hours exploring this magical place, and during her adventures, she learned that being curious and a little bit brave could lead to the most exciting places. Eventually, though, she started to feel a little homesick and longed for her own bed and a good night's sleep. Luckily, she soon found a way back home. When she woke up, Alice found herself back under the tree where she had first fallen asleep. She rubbed her eyes and looked around, realizing that her amazing journey through Wonderland had been nothing but a dream. Although she was happy to be home, she couldn't help but feel a little disappointed that her adventure was over. But then she remembered the valuable lesson she had learned, that even the most impossible things can happen if you are curious enough to explore and brave enough to jump into a rabbit hole. From that day forward, Alice never lost her sense of wonder and adventure. She knew that if she looked hard enough, magic and excitement could be found in every corner of the world.